Hi. How to learn English when you don't like grammar? That is a good question, right? So let's walk through some of the good steps that you can take when you want to learn English, but grammar really isn't your thing, or if you just cannot remember all the grammar points, which is the case for many. So my name is Susa. I have been an English teacher for 25 years, and I am here to share my best tips for you to succeed on your journey to learn English, and most of all to get confidence to go out there and speak and use your knowledge so that you can connect with the world. So yeah, today we're here to talk about what to do when you just don't like grammar, but obviously you need to learn some of it because, well, you do. Like driving a car, you do need to know the basics before you go behind the wheel. So first, let's remind ourselves that science tells us that human brains were not made for detailed information. Human brains thrive on great broad lines. So we should accept that. Most of us feel the best when we learn big entities. So, my first tip is that you focus on those. Focus on how to use the simple present. For example, saying, okay, if I or you, we, and they, it's no S. Like I like coffee, they like tea, you like donuts and we like to take walks. And then if it's he or she, so then you have to remember to say the S. Talking about habits. He likes coffee and she likes tea. He goes to the store and she stays in the park most of the time. So yeah, broader lines. Maybe you want to go. Remember that when you talk about the past, so you the E and the D. So you say we talked about it and we decided to do it and we discussed other issues as well and we stopped the meeting at 5. We closed the office and we walked home. So there you're just using the pattern, the irregular verb pattern to talk about the past. That is a big line. And then the irregular verbs, they will stick to your memory in a while. Right. So another tip is to focus on associations. So instead of saying, okay, let me learn will, let me learn do or does, let me learn did, focus on thinking that, hey, when I talk about the future, I will use will. So for example, I got plans. I will go to the concert and I will go shopping. I will have lunch there. I will order a coffee. I will go on vacation. So will and associate it with your plans. Or maybe the E and the D, you can associate that with your finished things. Like I discussed with my friend about the plan. We decided to go there. We finished our work at that point and we opened the car door and we discovered that it was hot inside. So all of those are finished and you just associate that with the ed and the past, right? Or the ing, you can use that association. Like if it's happening right now, so it's like, oh, remember the ing, the ing. Like I'm talking and they are running and he is typing and she is listening to the boss who is explaining the thing, right? So associations, that's another tip. Broader lines, associations, more than just the grammar rule, more than approaching it with will plus the verb. You go from, I want to talk about my plans. What can I do? What can I use? So the third tip in how to learn English when you don't like grammar or grammar doesn't like you is to learn like children do. They don't really care about grammar. Have you ever seen any 5-year-old asking you, what is this and this? Or most of them don't. So, what do children do? They listen, they copy, and they communicate. They hear their parents or other people say something, they copy the same thing, and they start using it. So, that's another good tool. It just kind of like gives you some freedom from overthinking. So you just spot something what somebody says. Okay. They say that. Would you like coffee? Okay. So you the same thing. Hey, would you like to have coffee with me? Or yeah, are you going there? Okay. Oh, okay. Are you coming? Are you going? Are you staying? Are you doing this with me? So yeah, spotting what somebody else says, copying it, and using it yourself. So then you start kind of like picking up these little habits, and they become more and more your database. And then your brain also starts to pick up little patterns, right? Um, and you can also use in like as an example, if you don't have anyone to like if you don't have like a child has a parent, so you can read, for example, specifically English second language texts. I will link some down here. You can watch a TV show, you can read an article, and then you spot some things and you copy and you use them. So there you go. And the more you do it, the more your brain will really pick up patterns like, okay, would. Okay, that is when you ask people if they want to do something. Would he like to come? Would she do it? Would they agree? Right. So really getting that material from another speaker, either reading or hearing, and then using it and trusting the process that eventually you will start creating those patterns and things that make sense without going there first. Right. Also, another tip of if you don't like learning grammar, so you can focus on communicating with people without having that bar so high. So just like try things out, say things, a little bit what we said before is that you just go out there, and then maybe you make a mistake, but use the mistake as pieces of information of how you can be better next time. So you just go out there and communicate more than trying to be correct, right? So communication over perfection. You want to create links, you want to send a message, you want to participate in something, you want to leave a comment, just do it. And then little by little, again, the patterns will start to form, and then you will be able to be more and more confident. And the more you have like those yes I can moments, the more you want to learn. So instead of sweating with that grammar book, which doesn't sound like fun, you're like using English, doing things, and then getting encouragement, and the grammar is developing, but you almost don't even realize that, right? You can do a technique which is called shadowing. So you can shadow a native speaker. So if you know one, you listen to what they say, and then as soon as possible, you repeat what they said. You try to imitate. You try to imitate their rhythm, their intonation, their pronunciation. So if you don't know anyone, so you can also watch a TV show, pause it, and try to say it, or YouTube video, or any type of recording. So you listen to that. What you gonna do? Pause. What you gonna do? Okay. What you gonna do? Pause. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Or whatever, like he's coming. He's coming. So you pause and try to say the same thing. Because in this case, what's happening is that you're creating muscle memory in your mouth. So you're teaching your body to remember more than your analytical brain. So you're focusing more on the sensory memory than on the brain's analytical memory. And that can be easier anyways because we got so many things to think about. So yeah, so you're literally taking a native speaker and you're pausing that and doing it exactly right after. They say something, you repeat it. That's called shadowing, by the way. Right. And the last tip that I have for you today is to create sentences, either write or think about your life. So, for example, it's like, I really want to learn the present tense. So, create sentences about your life. I wake up in the morning, I make coffee, I turn on the computer, I make some breakfast, I clean up the kitchen, or if you want to learn the past, yesterday I watched TV and I cleaned the bathroom and I walked the dog and I called a friend. So when you write or think, speak sentences about your life, they become more personalized. We're always interested in things that really apply to our life. Right. So these are little tips of how you can do when you don't like grammar, and it is totally possible. So try them out, see what works for you. You don't have to try all of them, but pick one or two. And yeah, let me know if those work. And in any case, if you want to hear more of my tips of how to learn English and have fun, hit subscribe and come back for the next one. Bye.